the Antarctic.
Thanks, Olga. Let's move on to something completely different. New rules for household rubbish. They're causing this really big stir in the Chinese city of Shanghai. It's now mandatory for people to sort and recycle their waste. People who don't comply risk hefty fines, could potentially have their all-important social credit rating lowered, meaning they could lose out on certain economic or social privileges by not being a model citizen. Now, Shanghai is the city's biggest trash generator. The city produces 9 million tonnes a year, and people are being taught to sort their waste in a few creative ways. There is a board game, there's also a video game that you can see here, but maybe we'll take a listen as well to another one. Are you ready for this? Karaoke about waste. Well, there you go. Something that is quite different. On social media, there are tens of thousands of people that have been using the hashtag dividing rubbish, and it's sending Shanghai citizens a little bit crazy. Sina Weibo is the Chinese micro-blogging site, and it has now banned it, actually. Let's hear more from Kerry Allen, who is our China media analyst, who has been following this avidly. You might have read her piece online as well. Kerry, what is this all about? Why are people just, I don't know, so passionate about dividing rubbish now?
Although, I mean, it's almost kind of, you know, it's become so fun. I mean, in the week in the lead up to these regulations being announced, there was a lot of nervousness from people, because this is a city that is 3 times the size of London. It's got a huge population, 24 million people, and the fines are very big for people. They're, I mean, 200 yuan is what you get for an individual. I mean, that's the equivalent of about £20 here. So, you know, people really have to, you know, think about what they do, their actions when they're, you know, throwing things away. I mean, even things, for example, like, you know, you've got a bottle of a juice or something and, you know, you've not finished it. You can't just throw it away. You have to stop and think, okay, the liquid goes in the kitchen waste, the bottle goes in the recycling. So, you know, people are panicking, otherwise they get this huge fine. And yeah, £20 by Chinese standards is a lot of money.
But also with this, Kerry, is this something that people, did they not recycle previously, or is it just that it's becoming more restrictive?
They did to some extent, yeah, but I mean, people are encouraged more and more to be, you know, more environmentally friendly, and there are bins on the street, much as there are here in the UK, where you can divide between recyclable waste and just general waste. But I mean, this is literally, it's putting pressure on people and saying that if you don't divide your litter properly, you know, it could impact your job opportunities. It could impact which schools you go to. So, I mean, people are being educated at, you know, the lowest level. Kids are really getting involved in this. I mean, yeah, these board games that have taken off that people are buying online, virtual reality games. So, I mean, you know, that song, for example, I've had that in my head all week. People are really, really engaged in this. And it's not just in Shanghai. Other cities now are thinking, you know, it's so addictive, the different ways that people are getting involved in this and thinking that they can be very environmentally friendly. But yeah, to some extent, people are also scared as well because they don't want to pay a large amount of money. And
well, hold that thought, Kerry. We're going to come back to you in just a moment, because I want to get more into that issue of social credit and how you might be impacted if you don't put it in the right box, etc. So stay with us. We'll be back to you in a moment, because I want to bring a government document that is about the system. It says that it is all about to allow the trustworthy to roam everywhere under heaven, while making it hard for the discredited to take a single step. Let me bring you a little bit more on exactly how it works. So see these numbers that you see over people's heads? Private companies like the tech giant Alibaba, they give people a credit score, and not just based on how they handle their finances, but their social behaviour too. Businesses then share, for example, the information with the government, and if your credit score is too low, you could be blacklisted from getting a job or a loan. So pretty serious stuff, perhaps blocked from buying a plane ticket or a train ticket. Let me bring back in the BBC's Kerry Allen. And sorry, let me bring her back up to us, speaking to us. I was just showing a little bit of some of what people had numbers basically over their head, their credit score. Talk us through a little bit about some of the serious impacts that, in fact, if you have a lower credit score, if you don't recycle correctly, for example, how it might affect a person on a day-to-day level, and what are Chinese people saying?
Well, yeah, it can affect people from getting into certain schools, from getting certain job opportunities, from traveling on planes. And because there are huge populations, I mean, yeah, Shanghai, the most populous city in the world, this means that there's a lot of pressure for people. You know, they don't want to be in the bottom option. So one of the things that I'm seeing more and more is across the nation this concept of basically civilized behaviours, and the government's trying to get people now to basically just recognise little things just in their behaviour. I mean, rubbish selection is one thing, and paying your bills on time is another thing. But I mean, some cities are even going as far as, I mean, Beijing has been targeting people who eat food on the subway, manspreading even. There's also been, I mean, one city this week in an area called Jinan. They've been targeting men who go around in vests in summer because that's seen as uncivilized behaviour. So people are basically being encouraged more and more to be as good as they possibly can. So yeah, there's nervousness. There's also a certain amount of anger about this. But yeah, the government is trying not to get people angry about it, to see that it's an opportunity to be good, to be creative. And yeah, I mean, everybody cares about the environment. So this is a good opportunity for people to look on the bright side, really.
Kerry Allen, thank you so much. Our China media analyst speaking to us about the social media credit. Stay with us on Outside Source.